time for another Kamen Rider countdown! Since, well, the reception of my last solo Kamen Rider countdown was well received, I figured it's time for another one. Secondary riders have become a key element to the Heisei Rider shows. They arrive and shake up the game, changing things that you already knew for as long or as little as you knew it. And that's why I'm covering my top 7 favorite secondary riders. The rules for this list: it has to be any secondary rider or second most important to the story after the lead rider. And don't friggin' snark me about Gattack! I don't want to hear it! I'm just kidding, give me the snark, boys. I'll be going over what I like about their characters, how they contrast to the lead rider, as well as their main form and final form, if they have one, seeing as how those are the forms with the most focus, especially if a secondary rider has forms in between that. So with that said, let's begin! Kamen Rider G3 is an intriguing rider to say the least. G3's suit is very similar to Kamen Rider Kuga's, as it was made with Kuga's design in mind when the unidentified life forms were around. However, while G3's suit is visually appealing, and the orange eyes go well with the silver and blue suit, he's pretty plain, especially compared to other designs such as Agito's ground form, with a nice golden red, Gil's with his dark greens and opening mouth, and, another Agi. So let's go back to G3, why don't we? However, thankfully the basic G3 suit doesn't see much action, as compared to the base forms of Agito and Gil's. Basic G3 can't do much against unknowns. That's where G3X comes in, though. G3X gives actual styling to basic G3's armor, makes the chest not just fake abs, as well as having more defined shoulder pads. My only issue with the design is now it's incredibly bulky. There's also how Hikawa needed his final form just to be, well, useful. Plus, while Hikawa is a good enough character, I find his position as straight man to Shochi to be funny. Hikawa doesn't really do much that forwards the plot in Kamen Rider Agito. G3 is fine though, I guess, but he can certainly do better. Kamen Rider Axel is certainly one of the more interesting picks for this list. He's a police detective who is driven by revenge against the weather dopant for killing his family. And it's thanks to the confusion between the double memory and the name Kamen Rider W that Ryu originally sets his eyes on the half-boiled hero. The detective, not the commentator. It's at this point we see how different he is compared to Shotaro. Ryu is very cold, not really caring much for the city of Futo, almost acting as a complete opposite to Shotaro, who sees the city as his garden. However, over time and with the help of Akiko, his heart starts to melt and warm up. Axel's base form is really cool looking, as red and silver go incredibly well together. He can turn into a hideous bike form, which I'm glad wasn't used very often. Thankfully, only in 7 of the 30 episodes Axel was in. However, we get to his final form, Trial. And most of you know that I can't stand how Ryu just demands a power-up from Shroud, and he gets it and just spends the episode getting better at using it. However, considering that I despise Axel's Trial form, why is he higher than G3? It's because at least Axel was somewhat useful before. Plus, while I hate how he got it, Trial form is awesome, being able to kick so fast. Never said I wasn't counting Amazons. Jin is an awesome character, where after the Amazons broke out, due to his sense of responsibility, he became an Amazon to kill them all. Which really sucks for him, as he gets his girlfriend Nanaha pregnant with their Amazon son, whom he has to kill, and to make things even worse for him, not only does he get his eyes clawed out blind, but Nanaha becomes an Amazon and he has to kill her too! And he's stuck alive when he just wants to be dead so he can be with his family. Obviously, this is a complete departure from Haruka, as throughout Season 1, Haruka is having trouble figuring out what he wants to do with himself after learning that he's an Amazon, compared to Jin, who knows exactly what he's going to do and why he's going to do it. And while Jin still wants to kill all Amazons, Haruka is taken to saving the ones that choose a life of peace as a protector. However, the two of them end up sharing a common goal in the end, with having to defeat Amazon Neo. Alpha's design is really awesome, and while I love how sleek Amazon Omega and Amazon Neo look, I can't help but love the wild patterns as well as the scars all over Amazon Alpha. Green and red go great together, and the actual mouth on Amazon Alpha only makes the design cooler, as it only increases his wild side. He doesn't really have a final form like New Omega. All he gets is blind. He gets wide eyes instead of green. That's it. What holds Jin back is the fact that Amazon's is incredibly short, even shorter than Decade, where that was 31 episodes. Amazon's is only 26, and that kinda hinders most of the character development that Jin gets. Zeronos is definitely one of the better secondary riders. Yuto is one of the more interesting characters with how outspoken he is, and since he is the younger version of Past Man, it makes sense that he'd be more, overreactive. This is shown in spades in his differences with Ryotaro. Whereas Ryotaro isn't strong enough but chooses to fight, Yuto is strong and is forced to fight. And while his dealings with Irie make him an incredibly interesting character, falling in love with her all over again, I can see how they're married in the future. However, some bits are bothersome, which basically mean his dealings with Deneb. At times I can see why these two work together, as Deneb is like a soft, overprotective big brother. However, other times are just Yuto physically assaulting Deneb, which is fine for slapstick comedy, but it just gets old after a while. It's in almost every episode those two share. So let's look at Zeronos' forms. Altair form looks nice enough, even though those shoulder pads are less than desirable. However, the basic design for Zeronos looks good, and I love how the bowls become his eyes on the helmet. Zero form looks better than Altair, as I feel red works better with yellow than green. However, the design of Zero form is literally just replacing the green with red. So much for the rust. What's that, straw man? You're confused on why Kamen Rider Brave is only number 3, even though I am clearly in love with Xaid? Well, to that I say... shut up! Hero is certainly one of the better characters in Xaid, and that's saying a lot with how strong of a character roster Xaid has. He's a surgeon dead set on his job due to the passing of his girlfriend, as it takes a lot to get his respect. Something that Emu Hojo knows well, as it takes the optimistic Emu 21 episodes to truly earn his complete respect as a co-worker. Brave Level 2 looks really cool. The night motif works well for him, as the game Brave is based on, Title Quest, is an RPG. The cyan, black, and yellow work well off each other, and plus it comes with added defenses as he has a shield on his left arm. However, Brave Level 100 is just magnificent. Not only does it get a really good arc attached to it, not only is it the only level 100 form, but it can also use magic to create missiles to attack any enemy. Brave can certainly face any challenge that comes to him, girlfriend related or otherwise. Kamen Rider Callus is one of my favorite Kamen Riders. Hajime has a nice rivalry that spans the entire series. He starts out as neutral, but after several battles with Blade, Garen, and Lingle, as well as him becoming more like a father figure to Amane, he starts to see the good in humanity and begins to fight for peace from undead as Callus, until he's forced to become a Joker. He starts off as a complete opposite to Kenzaki, yet they become incredibly close as time goes on. Callus's ace form looks really cool, as this is just the Mantis undead, what with the heart-shaped eyepiece, how well the black and silver and gold and red go together. This is only inverted and excelled in Wild Callus. I love how well the gold, red, and green go together. Plus, I like how the sickles he gets in wild form can be attached to his Callus arrow in order to make an even longer bow. Sometimes, you just gotta take it a try. Oh boy, it really is time for some superstar action! Kamen Rider Mach has been my favorite secondary rider for a while now. Most of it is due to Go's character and how he grows from being a complete Roy-mood racist, even to those like number 19, who just wanted to live peacefully with Q, or Chase, who becomes the Kamen Rider again, into being Chase's best friend. Though his personality is also just a joy to be around. I love how his reckless, fun-loving personality compares to both Shinosuke and Kiriko, who are focused as policemen. Mach's forms are really cool too. I love how Mach's base form is designed, almost like a speed racer mindset. Makes sense with the name. Plus there's Chaser Mach. While yes, the design seems lazy, it's basically a glitched form, seeing as how the Mach armor shouldn't be able to support this. Plus there's how Chaser Mach is the strongest form in the season! Able to be stronger than Gold Drive, who is stronger than Evolved Heart, who is stronger than Drive-type Trideron. I'm Pcuspard, and Kamen Rider Mach is my favorite secondary Kamen Rider.